all the way through this whole proceeding, with all the arguments, all the positions being taken, the USC always stands with you.
They did.
This morning, I asked you some questions about whether you knew anything about the benefits to Reggie Bush, whatever they may have been.
Yes.
Remember that? Can we assume that your answers would be the same with regard to any benefit being provided to his parents?
Yes.
Do you know anything about that?
No.
At any time before the article started coming out in April of 2006, did you know anything about that?
I did not.
Okay. Just a quick little tutorial on this. The longer you are out of coaching, what effect does that have on your skills in terms of the changes that are going on in coaching? Explain this. Explain it to me. Explain it to them.
The game of football moves really fast from a technological standpoint and a strategic standpoint. So the longer you're out, is the more you're going to fall behind. Like they have systems where if we're making it for our players, you got to know how to operate the system, the video system. If I want to show my players all the blitzes, where defensive players rush in, send people to try to sack the quarterback. If I want to make a cut up of certain defenses and stuff like that, then you got to understand how to work the system. Probably the longer you're out, the more systems that will go to a different system and another system. And what happens is when the software companies are advertising the system to the school, they have like a tutorial to show coaches how to work it. And the longer you're out, terminologies change, strategies change, a bunch of stuff you can get behind. It's not good. They don't look on it as good if you're out the game for a while.
All right, so I had mentioned earlier that we were going to come back to the issue about the dogs.
You did.
So what I'd like you to do is just explain to the ladies and gentlemen this whole thing about dogs in your history. First, let me ask you, you had dogs all the way back to when you were a kid?
I did.
Do you love dogs?
I do.
You have dogs now?
I do.
How many?
2.
What kind are they?
American Bullies.
What is an American Bully?
An American Bully is a dog in the 90s. It's a dog in the 90s, got real popular in the 90s. A guy, I'm on the East Coast, a guy named Dave Wilson from Virginia. They originated out of Virginia. He started the strain Razor's Edge. It's called on the East Coast now. Here it's Gotti line. Some of you might have heard of. But what an American Bully is, Dave Wilson took pit bulls, like show pit bulls and Staffordshire Terriers. Staffordshire Terriers is like a pit bull, and he took them and mixed them. They bred them because pit bulls are, they get a bad rap a lot of times, but they are highly dog aggressive and animal aggressive and all like that. So they wanted to create a real muscular bully dog that was pit bull like in breed type, but they wanted to take the temperament down, where it's made a good companion dog. All right. So in temperament, I mean by how the dog acts, to take the aggression out and make it more of a show quality dog. And the dogs got really, really popular in the 90s. They had a show on MTV called the American Bully Show, hosted by a guy named Menlo, and it was really the in thing at the time. The dogs were really expensive. They're really expensive. It wasn't out of the realm. You buy sell a dog for $50,000. Bullies now, they sell them. I saw a dog for sale, sold in Thailand for $250,000 for this stud dog. But anyway, so it was a new breed, and they started they got to the point where they created a standard for the dog. The standard is what the dog is supposed to look like. So you had a certain type of jaw on the dog, the stop, where the nose goes into the forehead. The stop should be straight up and down. Shouldn't be an underbite. The front should be straight and not bow legs. The feet should be not easty, westy, which is going out. They should be straight. The toes shouldn't be splayed. They should be tight. The top line should be flat, not a roach back. A roach back is a dog with a curved back. It should be nice and tight. The angulation, which is the back legs of the dog, shouldn't be straight up and down. They should be kind of, if you ever seen show dogs, their back legs don't stand like that. They're on an angle. It's called angulation. The tail should be, it's a lot of, the color, it's a lot of stuff that goes into breeding with the standard. Now, this is mid-90s. And I'm a football player, had some money, loved dogs, had dogs my whole life, had a dog named, had German Shepherds and Mutts. And I had a dog named Dusty here, got hit by a car, they wanted to put him down, I wouldn't let him, so they amputated his leg. I had a 3-legged German Shepherd. So I was infatuated with dogs. I started playing football, had money, so all right, yeah, bet. I had a friend that had brought a dog up from Virginia, he had family in Virginia, brought one of the dogs up. I was excited about it. So we decided, all right, we're gonna breed these bullies. So we gotta get some pits and some different dogs, some old English oldies.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wasn't there an incident before that in Kansas City?
Yes,
Yes,
no, you're right.
Okay, good.
You're right. So
Tell them the whole.
yeah, I got stuff on my bullies.
You tell them.
I got to the NFL. I got money now. I live by myself. So I got I used to love Rottweilers. I got two Rottweilers. And I got them for home protection. Got money and live in a nice area. So my dogs, both of them, they were Bismarck and Tyson were their names. So they had to run out back. I would put them out back. They stayed in the house with me for, during the day. I work all day. Put them out back. They were in the run. And they stay in the house so that they didn't have dog houses outside. I went to the mall. It was a nice clear day. Went to the mall. Started raining. I come back home. I didn't even know it was raining. Came out of the mall. Came back home. My dogs were gone. The neighbors called animal control. Said, there's 2 dogs out there. It's raining. They don't have houses. They took them. I went down and I got like a neglect charge or something like that. Now I'll be the first to admit, in those days, I work all the time. I wasn't the best, and I wasn't the best dog owner as far as security of my dogs. And you have no idea, I had no idea the strength and athleticism and the stuff that pit bulls and those type of dogs possess. I'd get a run, I'd put the cages up and everything, I'd be in the house, look out back, dog gone. Scale the fence. Scale the cage, clean out the cage. All right, get some, put them back out there, get something over the top, he digs out. That's normal. Get a concrete slab, put it down, the dog rips they're the supreme athletes of the canine family. But let me back up to my Rottweilers. So I have my Rottweilers, I got something with that, I got a charge with that. But I had them doing Schutzen training. Schutzen is when you see dogs with the protection training and stuff. And there was a lady who trained the police dogs in my area, in my home, in the town that I lived in Kansas City. So they loved my Rottweiler. They said they had an aptitude for it, so I gave them to her. They became police officers, so that was cool. So then the whole rage with the bullies come up. So
let me just say, with the one involving 2 Rottweilers, that was in Kansas City?
That was in Kansas City.
And that would have been 1993?
93.
Okay, so go ahead, move up to 96.
Right, so now even in KC I started with the dog, but I was younger and I was playing ball and I really didn't have the time to really spend with them, and nobody else was at my house. So I used to go home to Jersey a lot. I always kept a place in Kansas City. I would go home to Jersey a lot. When I got to Jersey, that's when we started talking about the bullies. So, and there was another time. One time we were at my house, friend came over, put his dog put his leash on the front of the house. We're in the house, he got around, he got in a fight with the neighbor's dog. The neighbor had an English Spaniel or something, they got in a fight, and the cops came and shot him. You know what I mean? So, you know, and that's not light, but I didn't get a charge, nothing like that. I think I paid a fine for him. So I realized, okay, these dogs, you gotta have some experience to handle them really and keep, you know, you'll have problems with them. So I had a group of friends and we wanted to breed these bullies. Now I'm not home all the time, I'm back and forth between Kansas City and all. So I said, okay, let's buy a farm and let's put the dogs out on the farm. Farm wasn't too, where I'm at, and I lived in South Jersey, and the farmland were across the river from Philadelphia. So okay, so let's get a farm, let's move them out there, and that it'll be secure, and I won't have these problems. So I bought the farm and I set it up. It was in the winter of 1996. We set them up. I hadn't had the farm that long. I was living in Kansas City. We were negotiating with the Chiefs. The Chiefs were gonna sign me, and I was Jersey and Kansas City, but I was staying in Kansas City. We were negotiating with the Chiefs. They couldn't sign me until after June 1st, when they made some cuts. June 1st is an important day on the free agency calendar. So I'm out in Kansas City. The boys took care of the dogs at home, set everything up and all that. We had, in the winter of 1996, was the nor'easter. It was the blizzard of 96. We had 36 inches of snow dropped on the East Coast, and it melted all of it melted like the next day. It went to like 60 degrees right after the blizzard, and it melted. Like people were dying. It was deaths. The whole East Coast was flooded, right? And it was flooded. It was flooded so bad, like and it would freeze and it would thaw, and it would freeze and it would thaw. Then it got to a couple months. And we were getting snowstorm after snowstorm after rain, and they said that they had a dog in the garage. The dog jumped through the window. I'm saying these dogs, you really gotta know what you're doing to keep them secure. Dog jumped through the window, and from inside the garage, got out the cage, jumped through the window. Neighbor found it. Now, the rest of the dogs were right along the tree line. You know, you got open field, farmland, and right along the tree line, they were back there. But at this time, I pulled some, it was snowing, raining for a week leading up to when this situation happened. So nowhere on the East Coast could you walk. If you walked out of your front door and walked to your car, you're ankle deep water, all right? So the dogs their houses were good, but when they walked down out, they stand in water. And if you have a bowl out there for you, if you have a bowl and stuff like that, the bowl, so you had to take them off and feed them individually. Again, I wasn't even there. So the dog got out, they called the police came, they went in the back, and it's this big, elaborate story about dog fighting. They didn't know whose place it was because I had just got the property, right? And so the paperwork was either, they were either doing paperwork or it had just been filed. I don't know, they didn't know whose place it was. A couple days went by, they reached me in Kansas City. I flew home, I went straight to the police station, and then we went through the whole deal. So the police and the story came out, and if you read the story, it was a sensation. It was sensationalized. It was remind me of another situation. It was sensationalized. They said that they were dog fighting, and I owned the property though. They were dog fighting, and the dogs were this way and that way and everything. Long story short, went to court. I got charged with improper housing because of the flooding, and I got charged with failure to license. They had to license the dogs, and that was it. And they had an expert on their side, animal specialist. She said there wasn't any dog fighting.
Your Honor, I would object to what some experts said in another trial.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
hearsay.
Yeah.
So, end of the day, I got charged with improper housing because of the water.
Well,
And I
let me
got
stop
charged.
you. Let me stop you. We charged you with a whole bunch of things, but the only things that were found were,
Yeah, charged me with a bunch of stuff. I was found for improper housing and failure to license.
did you ever, was there any dog fighting?
No,
Would it make any sense to be breeding a less aggressive pit bull if you're gonna use it for dog fighting?
in fairness, they wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know that.
Police wouldn't know that?
Yeah, if they went down on, they wouldn't know
I got
what,
you.
you know what I'm saying, in
Yeah.
fairness.
But my question to you is, would it make any sense if you want to do dog fighting to breed a less aggressive dog for that?
No, you want a better citizen. If it's about cosmetics, and again, I told you we had this, you're breeding now, we're creating a breed and you're breeding toward a standard. You're breeding toward a standard so you can show them. And if you show them, you have to be in the ring and everything, so they can't be dog aggressive, they can't be too hyper, they got, you know, a companion dog has to be a better citizen.
Okay. So, did you lose your job in the NFL over that?
No, I got signed 3 months later.
Did you get your coaching jobs at the high schools and then at USC in the face of that?
Yes, I did.
And then after all of this stuff broke about the Reggie Bush Lake situation,
Yes.
was it publicized that you had had this dog stuff back in 93 and 96?
I don't think it broke because of the Reggie deal. I think when Mike Vick got in his trouble, they went back, and at the time that was like 17 years ago or something like that, but they brought that up then. I don't think it came up in connection to the Reggie Bush thing in any way.
Oh, gotcha, okay, so let me just make sure we're clear on this.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Vick
Mm-hmm.
was a really good quarterback in the NFL.
Yes, he was.
He was found guilty of dog fighting, right?
He was guilty of dog fighting.
And he actually spent time in prison for a couple of years, right?
He went to prison.
And when he came out, he went back to quarterbacking in the NFL, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so when this article came out, in a period of time during this investigation, the NCAA investigation, when it came out, did you lose your job at SC over it?
I did not.
Have you ever lost a job or been prevented from getting a job at any time before this COI report came out because of the dog issue?
I did not. No, I did not.
Now, did you answer honestly when one of the committee members at the hearing asked you whether there was anything of a criminal nature in your history opposed to your veracity?
Objection mischaracterizes the question that was asked.
Well, I'll put it this way, okay? Did you answer the question the question, whatever it was, honestly?
Yes, I did.
Did you believe that dog fighting had anything to do with veracity?
No, no. And I wasn't found guilty of dog fighting.
Or did I say dog fighting?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
Did you think anything about the dog issues from 93 and 96 had anything to do with veracity or what we would say is truth telling?
Not at all.
Is it a violation, any of those dog things a violation of any NCAA regulations?
No, no, no.
And if you had been told that somebody on the committee, or maybe more than one, came up with this information on the internet, would you have explained the same thing to them if they had just asked you?
Yes, I would.
Okay. This report, the COI report of June 10, 2010, and then the IAC report in the following year after the appeal, those were both published, correct?
Yes.
Did they go on the internet?
Yes.
Do they stay on the internet?
Yes.
And were they published, for example, only within the football community, Division I football teams, or published everywhere?
I believe everywhere.
What were your aspirations as a football coach at the time that this report came out, just before it came out?
Well, I was intended to be a head coach.
Can you tell us, did you plan to spend the rest of your working days in coaching football?
Yes.
Can you tell us, there were various other coaches that were with you at USC. Why don't you tell them, what are those coaches doing now?
All right. Lane Kiffin left USC to be the Oakland Raiders head coach. He then went to Tennessee to be the Tennessee Volunteers head coach. Came back to USC, became the USC head coach. Left USC, went to Alabama to be the offensive coordinator at Alabama, and now he's the head coach at FAU, I believe. It's one of the schools in Florida. Steve Sarkisian left, became the head coach at Washington, came back to USC, became the head coach at USC, had some issues, went to Alabama, same when Lane Kiffin was there, went to Alabama. Now he's with the Atlanta Falcons.
NFL?
NFL, Atlanta Falcons. Chris Richard and Rocky Seto and all these are defensive guys. Chris Richard, Rocky Seto, they all went to Seattle with Pete. Pretty much the defense. Kenny Norton went to Seattle with Pete. Pretty much the defensive staff went to, because Pete was the defensive guy, so he kept all his guys with him. They all went to Seattle. On the offensive side, John Morton went somewhere. He was with the Jets with Todd last year. Was with an NFL. Todd Bowles at the Jets. Jeremy Bates went back to the NFL. He went with Pete to see. Oh, that was the guy that Pete took to Seattle. Pete was in a bidding war for him. He was the one that said he didn't want nobody. He wanted to bring his own guys in. Went up there with Pete for a year and got fired. He's now at the Jets where Johnny Morton just left. Chris Richard was on the defense too. He went to Seattle with Pete. Was defensive back coach, then he was defense coordinator. He got fired, now he's in Dallas. Kenny Norton.
NFL?
Yeah, Dallas and NFL.
Dallas Cowboys?
Yes. Kenny Norton was with Pete. Then he went to the Raiders, became the Raiders, NFL. Raiders, defense coordinator. Now he's back with Pete in Seattle. Jethro Franklin. I hooked him up at Temple. Jethro Franklin went to Temple. Was defensive line coach, and went to University College. Went to University of Miami, was defensive line coach, because the Temple coach left him. I hooked Jethro up at Temple. He was with, the head coach was before Rule. drawing a blank right now. He went to Miami. Took Jethro to Miami with him. Kenny went to the Raiders to become the defensive coordinator. Jethro went with Kenny to Oakland to be the Raiders defensive line coach. And he's with Kenny now in Seattle. Justin Mesa, who was always like he got coffee for us. He's in Wyoming now. He was in a couple places. He was in Wyoming and somewhere else.
How about Ed Orgeron?
Ed Orgeron, he left. He went to be the Mississippi head coach and came back to USC. And then he came back to USC. Now he's the head coach at LSU. Our offensive line coach, Pat Rule, is in. After Pete fired Jeremy, he brought Pat. Pat's up there with him at Seattle.
By the way, LSU, one of those elite programs,
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi, even now to being an elite program.
Yes.
That's where Orgeron
Yes.
coached both
Yes.
those places.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's, I mean,
That's
that's,
a good enough
that's,
picture
yeah,
of
that's,
it now?
that's a good enough picture.
So do you think that you were on the rise at the time this happened?
Absolutely. A handful of these guys were grad assistants, meaning they were like secondary type coaches. They came and just were, they had to go to school there. They weren't actually full-time coaches. A lot of them. Chris Richard was a grad assistant. Mace was a grad assistant. A handful of them were grad assistants. So yes, I was on my way.
All right, thank you very much.